In this video, I'm going to go over the 3 main ways that you can actually leverage Airbnb and Airbnb arbitrage to get out of your 9 to 5, to escape the rat race. If you were anything like me, I 100% was not happy in the corporate world and what I was doing at the time. And I wanted to find something more, something that would allow me to have the ability to travel and have freedom and something that I can manage from my laptop. And that's obviously how I came about Airbnb arbitrage. So in this training, I'm going to be walking through the step-by-step on how to do it. Now, before I do that, this is me. This is 23-year-old Adam. Corporate job, 14 days PTO per year, felt completely trapped. Couldn't travel, really nothing he could do. And I realized, I was like, shit, I need to do something. I can't handle another Monday morning meeting. What do I even do, right? And again, that was me at 23. Fast forward to 27-year-old Adam, right? Get to travel around the world, get to do fun stuff, that do $30,000 to $50,000 a month in my Airbnb business. Really have true freedom. I'm actually excited to work. I get to work on the projects I actually want to work on when it relates to my businesses. And that's really what it's all about, right? It's just have the ability to spend your time doing what you want to do as being forced and told what to do at your time at a 9 to 5 or a corporate role, right? Now, there are 3 main ways to start an Airbnb business, and I'm going to focus on the first one here, which is called co-hosting. So co-hosting is essentially when you go to a landlord who's looking to rent their spot and you say, hey landlord, I could list this property for you on Airbnb and I can make you more money than you're asking for in rent, and I'll manage everything. I'll make it completely passive. All I ask for is a percentage of the profits for managing it on your behalf. And with co-hosting, you can make real money. I mean, you can make $800, $1,000. You can even make $2,000, $3,000 a month with some co-hosting properties. I think my highest earning co-hosting property is doing about $1,500 a month on average, which is pretty good, right? And there's pros and cons. I mean, the pros are you don't need any capital. There's no capital needed, so it's impossible for you to lose money. The landlord pays for everything. They pay for the furniture, the utilities, the setup. The harder part is that it is harder to find these deals, and you need to be able to actually explain to the landlord very well how your company is going to help them make more money and prove that you're trustworthy and reputable, right? But this is actually the first deal I ever got in Airbnb was a co-hosting deal. So this is a great way to start. Now, the next way to scale an Airbnb is with arbitrage. And this is really the easiest way to scale. So essentially what arbitrage is when you go to a landlord and you say, hey landlord, I'm willing to sign a lease for 2-3 years on your property. I'm willing to give you the $1,500 a month in rent that you want. All I ask is that you allow me to operate my short-term rental business here. What you do then is then take that property, relist it on Airbnb, and you make the difference between the revenue that you're generating minus the rent, utilities, cleaning, and expenses, any other expenses, right? And what's left over is the profit. Also, average profits are usually somewhere between $800 to $1,200 per month in profit. The good news is that it's a lot easier to scale. There's a lot of different ways in arbitrage how you can get multiple properties right off the bat, so you're already cash flowing a few $1,000s from the start. The negatives are you can lose money. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to properly find deals, analyze deals, pitch landlords, present the deal, market the deal on Airbnb, get everything that the guest wants, run it properly, you can lose money. So you need to treat it like a business. You need to treat it seriously. You need to understand what you're doing. The other con per se is not really a con, it's just something you need, is you need to understand the pitch to a landlord. You need to really understand the exact script and methodology of how to present this to a landlord as a short-term rental company, what to say to them to convince them to let you use their property for arbitrage and sign these 2-3 year releases and build that relationship. Now, the final way that you can actually start an Airbnb business is with purchasing, right? And I think a lot of people think to this way first. However, in my opinion, it's not the best way if you're looking to actually scale. With purchasing, it's pretty simple. You're looking to purchase a property that you can list in Airbnb and make money and make more than your mortgage and essentially pay off all the furniture and the debt that you incur while gaining equity on the property. The good part is that you're getting equity. The bad part is that it's the most expensive option because you need all this money to put down on capital to purchase property. And then you got property taxes. If something goes like the plumbing or a big issue, you're on the hook for it, right? Or in the landlord situation with arbitrage, you're not on the hook for that. And it's really hard to scale because it's very capital intensive for you to keep purchasing properties over and over again. So it makes it really difficult to scale. That's why if your goal is cash flow and you were like me and you're looking to quit your job as humanly fast as possible, arbitrage and co-hosting are the definitely best 2 ways to start. Now, What is actually needed to start an Airbnb business? Well, there's a few things. One, you need an LLC. An LLC is very simple. It's a limited liability company. It basically protects you and your business. So that way, if something happens, they can't go after you personally. Also, if you're looking to get what's called business credit, which is how I fund all of my deals, you need an LLC and you need what's called an EIN number to be able to apply for business credit. So what is business credit? Well, this is actually an example right here. Business credit, it comes in the form of usually business credit cards. Now, these business credit cards you can only get if you have a business. With these business credit cards, you usually get intro offers. So for example, this one here is the $750 in bonus cash for the first $6,000 you spend in 3 months. And then you also get 0% interest on the credit card for a year. So if you get approved for $20,000, theoretically, you could use that $20,000 to fund multiple properties, which is what I've done over and over and over again. Actually, hundreds of my students have done this exact same process so that you don't have to leverage your own cash to scale. So even if you only have, let's just say $7,000, $10,000 in cash, you don't need that to scale to multiple units. You can leverage what's called business credit, and there's a process to do that. But in order to get business credit, you do need an LLC. My best recommendation to actually create your LLC is with LegalZoom. It's what I did. It's what I have all my students do as well. Now, bonus is that if you can create a custom website to promote your short-term rental services, it's going to make you a lot more professional. It's going to make it a lot easier for landlords to actually want to work with you and give their property because, hey, you're a professional short-term rental company. You have a really well-designed website that lists the pros for them. They can see you're a legitimate business and that you're not just someone who's taking this not seriously, who's going to trash their property or do something not good. You're taking it very seriously and you have everything you need. I have a website. I would recommend creating one as well. And you can use Wix or someone else, or you can make it yourself or hire somebody on Fiverr. It's not a big deal, right? Once you have that set up, is where do you actually find properties that you could potentially talk to the landlord and pitch your short-term rental services? Well, these are 3 main areas everybody uses to start, including myself, and that is HotPads, Zillow, and Facebook Marketplace. These are all you need to get your first 5 to 10 deals. You could almost exclusively do through here, because once you develop relationships with these people and people know who you are, you start to get referrals. People start to refer you to other properties. If you work with a real estate investor, every new property they get, they're going to want to give to you. They may even want to partner with you on purchasing a property if they see how well their property is doing and that you're a professional short-term rental company. So a lot of opportunities really start to open up, but these are the best 3 main places on where to actually find those properties. However, if you are looking for more of like an in-depth process of exactly what to do, we do have a Facebook group that you can join called Airpreneur, Airbnb Arbitrage and Co-hosting, right? You can just look at Airpreneur in Facebook and you'll find it. In there, we go live every week, once a week at 6 p.m. EST. We go over answering anybody's questions. Even if you're new to us, even if you're not a student of us, we answer your questions. We give a lot of valuable information. We have testimonials, we have interviews with students, we have the scripts that you can use, we have cities guide that tell you the best cities to actually target so you know what to do. So we have a whole basically free course available for you just by joining the group, which is a very fantastic and great way to start your experience, to start learning if you're interested in joining Arbitrage. So I have a link below to that. All you have to do is request to join the group. And once you're in, you're going to be able to start scrolling through all the resources and come on our weekly live calls and talk to me and talk to my business partner, Vince, and ask any questions that you want about actually starting and scaling this business. So ideally, eventually, you could get 5 to 10 properties and quit your job. If you found this valuable, you have any questions about anything I walked through here, comment below. I'll do my best to make sure I answer every single comment. Otherwise, give us a follow if you're looking to learn more about growing an Airbnb business. I'm going to continue to put content like this out on a weekly basis, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.